step since the turn of the year. And, he was all out again last night. And as Graham rightly said, it's 100% every night, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's what you want from your players, not everyone's going to get 5 assists and 3 goals every game, but you need players like Keith and Rosehill to try and direct the play, not maybe like by having the puck, but by making the space and causing a nuisance in front of the net to give other guys a bit of space to do what they can do. And you saw it last night. Dundee were trying absolutely everything to try and get Rosehill out of the way of fouling. He was just standing right in front of the crease during the power play, and they just couldn't get him away from fouling at all. It wasn't even doing anything. He was just standing right in front of him, and there was guys cross-checking at him and just trying to shove him, and he wasn't moving at all. And that'll give the likes of the Pitt and Becca and Hammond to find that extra bit of space while they're trying to move him to try and get a shot off. And this is what you need. I mean, obviously Keith and Rosehill will say themselves that they wish they could contribute more points, but with what they're doing just now, it's getting at other players' points, and as long as we win, who cares who's getting all the points?
Yeah. Al Capone, Lucky Luciano, Joey Sides. Which one's a hockey player, which one's a 30s gangster? Do you know what I mean? Certainly Joey Sides plays hockey like a 30s gangster, does he not?
Certainly had the moustache to match.
He has got that, and he's got that strange hairdo as well. Don't get personal, Joey. Joey come round and bear around here with one of those machine guns with a round thing in it. He was a bit all over the place last night, Joey, and so when you were talking about Jay Rosehill, stopping Cowitt getting involved with him with the slash to the back of the legs, he seemed to really upset Matt Haywood. I'm assuming Zach Sullivan and Matt Haywood are really close, because when he kind of high elbow, I don't know if it got to his head, it was kind of borderline hit to the head, but it certainly led with his elbow to Zach's sort of top half. Matt get really, really upset about it. You don't really see that from Matt Haywood very often. And talking about Joey Sides kind of gets me to thinking as well, you had the Justin Fox 5-game ban for the high sticks, and he's another player. I think as a Clan fan, we can say we probably collectively don't really like that much. I mean, I don't like to speak for other people, but generally considered by us to be, certainly by me, to be a dirty player. Joey Sides was showing a bit of that last night as well, but 5-game ban for the high sticks. We've seen similar this year, not punished as harshly. What was your thoughts on that, Stephen?
Yeah, it's a difficult one. I've not really commented on it on Twitter or anything, because I didn't know how to judge it. Obviously there's Clan fans that are saying that he should have got more, and likening it to the Nyquist and the NHL's baseball swing that he got 6 games for. And there's been 5 fans obviously defending it, and it doesn't look intentional to me, but only the only person that will know if it was intentional or not probably is him. So it's a difficult one. I mean, obviously Sescon didn't play last night. He's got a very swollen eye. I don't know, like the picture he put on Twitter, it was swollen shut. I don't know if it still is, but there's no way to say that you can't say that the guy wasn't injured in the play, and it was very dangerous. And it's a difficult one because Dops make things up as they go along, which is the main problem. It's I'll say it if nobody else wants to say it. We won't get in trouble, it's fine. But so it's like 1 week that's a 5-game ban or 6-game ban, whatever it was, and the next week it'll be a 1-game ban. It's just there's no consistency from Dops at all, and I think that's where everyone's main point of contention is coming from. It's I think it Justin Farina got one recently for a high stick that was 2 games.
Yeah, it's quite similar,
and it was very similar to it. So what was the difference? It's really difficult to figure out what's going on. So it's hard to comment on it. But I think as a Fife have appealed, said they've appealed today or during the week even, and Fox can play tonight because he served the automatic 1 game. Whether they think it's because they'll get it reduced for the extra 5 or whatever it was, it's hard to tell. But they've not even set a date for the hearing yet, which with games running out is really bizarre. But again, that's Dops. So yeah, difficult one. I really wouldn't be surprised if Dops take a look at it after the appeal and add another 5 games to it, because that seems to be the sort of thing that they would do just to keep us guessing. So difficult one, but I don't think it was malicious.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I looked at it, and only he'll know. I don't believe he was going for a stick lift. I don't. And whether it was intentional or not, it's a dangerous play. I can understand Fife appealing it because, similar things have happened that have had less. So, and again, Graham, Jennifer, that's all we talk about with Dops, isn't it, is the inconsistencies, and we're kind of get fed up with it, don't we?
Yeah, I think the issue is that there was an injury on the actual player and quite a dangerous possibility of there being issues with Seskin's sight. So I think that's possibly why they've had to kind of come down that little bit higher. But I wouldn't be surprised at being reduced to maybe only 3 or 4 extra games.
Celebrating the Gardner Conference. Yes, absolutely. We should celebrate the Gardner Conference. In particular, the players and the coach should, because they're here to win silverware. And whether or not we agree, or I agree, or anybody else agrees with whatever the systems are in place that you're playing, within which you're playing for silverware, that doesn't really matter, because at the end of the day, the guys that are doing it on the ice, the backroom staff, as I say, the coaching staff, they're here to win silverware, and if we win silverware, then we should celebrate it. I think keeping things in context, and I've said this umpteen times, so I'll just say it very quickly again, I think as long as we keep it within the realms of what is it that we've actually done. We've won the Gardner Conference. We haven't had a great season overall. Yes, we're playing better now, but we've not had a great season. We've still won the Gardner Conference in February, so what does that tell you? So I think as long as it's kept in context. But as far as celebrating the win, absolutely. I mean, you can only play what's in front of you, and you can only play for what's in front of you. And as I say, the Gardner Conference is there to be won, as provided by the league. So we've won it again. So great. So no problems with that. But as I say, my problem will always be that I would hate for anybody associated with the club to think, great, job done, because it's not. And I think the minute we do think that, then this club is not going to go anywhere. So we just have to move forward. Matt Keith himself tweeted last night late on about the fact that, he thanked the fans, but he did mention the fact this is only part of, what we're trying to achieve, or words to that effect. And that's the kind of sentiment I like, because, I like to think that everybody in the club, everybody associated with the club, the whole fan base, do want more budgets and everything else, all the real world stuff. Okay, that's fine, these are all factors, but if we're not ambitious as a club, we're not going to go anywhere, certainly no further than where we are at the moment. So we've got to want more, but in the meantime, we've won a trophy, so yes, we should celebrate it.
Well, yeah, you look at it that way, I suppose, but to me, we are probably akin to Coventry Blaze in terms of size of budget, chances of actually, doing something in the league. And Jennifer, is this a time when you would want to swap places with Coventry when they are struggling so much in the other conference?
No, because I prefer winning than losing.
Yeah, and everybody does. But yeah. We're not, I wouldn't say we're any much, we probably are, I don't know. It's debatable whether we're a better team than Coventry or not. We've lost to them at home, we lost to them away in overtime, and we've beaten them at home. So, the record suggests we're probably eatsy-peatsy. Again, though, there's just a difference between having us in this conference as opposed to being in the other one. And I know we're going to talk about conferences later on in the show, and it's a perfect example of why I think the league has to be really careful about the way they're going to structure this. But generally speaking, you wouldn't swap with Coventry just now, would you?
No. Plus, they also have Danny Stewart as our head coach, so definitely no.
I know, but they've got...
And that's even with Brian Stewart in goals, that's still not going to tempt me.
But they've also got Liam Stewart.
Oh, no. Nah.
And what's the guy that nobody likes that plays in defence? British guy?
Sure.
Kevin Noble. He's the main reason you wouldn't want to be Coventry either.
That and Coventry in general is a tip. So...
My head office is down in Coventry.
Is that a controversial? If you've been to Coventry, that shouldn't be a controversial opinion at all.
Didn't stay long, but
exactly.
I hope we've not got many listeners. I don't think we've got many listeners for Coventry. You listened to Matt Keith last night, as you said, Graham. You listened to Ryan Finnerty. It's there to win. As you said, it's the minimum step from where we go. For people thinking or saying it's not been a successful season, we've reached the first step. In reality, the league is only going to be a possibility under the current setup if we have a good season. We haven't had an exceptionally good season. We haven't done it against their Hearts, but we've made the first step and we've got the Gardner. And, we talked about getting to the playoff final four earlier in the season, and particularly when it wasn't going very well and we were losing games at home, left, right and centre. And, we all agreed that if we can get to Nottingham, then most of what had happened before would probably be forgotten and it would be regarded as a successful season. We've now added, the conference to that, and if we can just get past, we've got ourselves a guaranteed second or third seed, which should give us a slightly better chance of progressing, although we all know how that goes in the past. We've got to be reasonably happy with the season so far.
Yeah, well, obviously the 1 year that we didn't win the Gardner Conference is the 1 year that we actually made the playoffs, being the lower seed. So, obviously the last 2 seasons we've had the higher seeding and still been knocked out. So hopefully this might actually be third time lucky for us, winning the conference and having the higher seeding and taking it to the final weekend. It's just be interesting to see what happens at the bottom of the table and who it is we'll actually be facing.
Yep, that's something to look forward to, Stephen, isn't it?
Aye, why not? I know it's
difficult for you to get yourself up for anything, right enough. But
look, the new Nintendo console comes out on Friday. That's my thing. But
that's your focus.
That's my focus. But yeah, conference. It's not for me. I don't, not the trophy so much, but the setup that we're in currently. And I wasn't part of your discussion about what your proposed changes, so I need to listen to that during the week whenever the episode comes out and let you know what I think. But the way it is just now, if we make the playoff weekend, I'll be delighted. I think we've done well this season so far to come from where we were, which was utter mins, to semi-respectable. So that's good. But yeah, all of it will be forgotten about. The poor form and the personnel coming and going at the beginning of the season will be forgotten about if we make the final four. Even if we make it to the very illustrious third, fourth playoff game, that's I think we've done well this season.
Yep, and last night, for the first time in a long time, Gonk made an appearance at Braehead Arena, and Holly went round the arena and spoke to some people to get their opinions.
If you want to introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Gordon, I'm in Section K.
Hi Gordon. So, what do you think of the season so far? How do you feel it's been going?
It's been getting better recently. I think the wee home stint in February's suited the team. Seem to be starting games well, getting on the scoreboard. Hopefully wrap up the conference tonight and then go into the playoffs and see if we can find something back then.
And do you think the conference would be enough to kind of instill a sense of achievement in the fans, or do you think there's still some more to be done in the playoffs?
I think it's a good achievement. It means we're the top team in Scotland, but I think the fans have seen it for a few seasons now. I think this will be the fourth in 5 years, or the third and 4th years. I think they're looking for one of the major trophies. Hopefully it'll be the playoffs this year.
So do you expect us to make it to playoff weekend, or are you just hoping for quarters?
I would like to see us make it. I think the team's performing well enough that we should make it there.
And do you think that this is us actually turning a corner, or a stroke of luck?
Oh, we've said that a few times this season. I think it is. I think they'll start performing well as it comes into the playoff run. So yeah, I think we've turned a wee corner. I'd like to see us finish the regular season well and take it into the playoffs.
Well, that's perfect. Any other comments or anything you'd like to say about the club?
No, happy fan. Section K, we all enjoy it.
Good to know. Thanks, anyone.
Thanks.
Hi, I'm Stephen from Section N Purplearmy.
What do you think of the period so far? How do you feel that the game's going?
It seems pretty one-sided so far. I think Zhakovsky's come up big for us with some saves. The way the puck's been moved around, the chances have been created. I think the 3 goals are pretty much deserved from that period.
And how do you feel the season as a whole has been going? Do you think this is a true reflection of how we've been playing?
Well, this is my first game back for a while. The last time I was here, the team were below par, and this is a massive step up from the last time I was here. I think this season as a whole was pretty disappointing. Everyone had a lot of high expectations of the team when we seen the roster at the start of the season. Guys like Jade Hill coming in direct from the NHL and things. I thought a lot